ये दर्द रहेगा बन के दवा तुम सब्र करो वक्त आने दो.
We'll go quickly now to Nas with the allegation corner. Nas, let us know what you're going to be talking about today, if it's ready.
Yeah, it's ready. 1 second.
Remind us what you did last week, and then we'll talk about this one as well, because I think we're talking about Hazrat Masih now specifically, aren't we?
Yeah, we were talking about like the gradual claims like last week, and like how that is about like that spiritual well, I forgot what it's called now. It was the elevation. I can't remember the words that and the fourth Khalifa used.
Yeah.
It wasn't evolution, but he said it wasn't evolution. It was I forgot what the word was now, but yeah, he used a good word to describe it. How they're supposed to, that's how every prophet done it basically. How claims were gradually made bigger and bigger and bigger, and that's a sign of truthfulness as well. Because if they were false, it would have just gone smaller, smaller.
Yes.
But yeah.
He was given greater titles.
Yeah.
He was given the title of a prophet.
So this week, it's about where MD's talking about how the Messiah, they say that he claimed that he was God. Let's go on to it now. So let me just move this because I can see myself. There we go. The non-MDs who claim this, they have no basis to go off using the Quran, Hadith, as well as Islamic dreams. They knowingly misinterpret a quote of the Prophet ﷺ and take it out of context. They say, I saw in one of my contemplative visions that I am God myself, and I believe that I am the same. So anyone to look at this on its own, they'll obviously be concerned, but in the right context, when you read it, it's used in the right way. That's the full thing. I'm not going to read that out, obviously, but that's just like in the video later on. If anyone wants to read, they can pause it. And here, so in the context itself, it shows that Ahmad alayhi salam did not claim any type of divinity. He states that he saw in his vision that he was God himself, which already shows that there is a God who exists and it's not him. Furthermore, in this vision, he submits to God that a new system and a sky was needed, which further shows that there is no room for accusation against him for claiming divinity. This is simply a vision which shows that the glory of God descendants upon him, as well as being enlightened with by Allah, and is acceptable according to Islam, and it's been stated by many saints. So there's examples from the Quran. In the Quran, sorry, God. That was literally some water. 1 second, just went dry all of a sudden.
Had a 2-week break, so he's a bit nervous.
There we go. Make sure you put that again. No, joking. So examples in the Quran, in chapter 8, verse 18, it says, so you killed them not, but it was Allah who killed them, and thou threwest not when thou didst throw. Honestly, I didn't understand this when I was reading it, but it takes a long time. But it was Allah who threw, and he might overthrow the disbelievers, and that might confer on the believers a great favor from himself. Surely Allah is all hearing, all knowing. So this statement is that no one can take literally, because this verse it's about throwing the pebbles. I don't know if you know about this one, Rabbi Sab.
Yeah, of course.
When they threw the pebbles, yeah. So it's about when it's not about basically Allah throwing it himself, but it's because the praise of the Holy Prophet and the shared efforts. So the second example from chapter 48, verse 11, it's basically about it uses the words like hands, and it talks about Allah's hands. So again, it's not a literal thing like his literal hands, but it's a metaphorical thing. And basically, it's an example from Hadith. I won't obviously read it out, but in the highlighted ones here and here, so it talks about basically Allah needing food and drink. So obviously, it doesn't mean that physically he needed it, but it was a metaphorical thing again. So 1 second. Yep. So this is basically Tawaturul Anam. It's basically a dream interpretation. It's a book about dream interpretations, and in there it says, anyone who sees in a dream that he has become God the glorious, the exalted. This is an indication that he would be rightly guided to the straight path. Jazakallah. So basically, that basically shows.
Do you want to summarize everything then? I think.
Yeah. So basically, it talks about how, like, in that book, obviously, it proves the fact that when someone does have a dream that they God, it's not a physical thing again. Like, so I think basically what this is all about, it's about using metaphorical terms, because when I've had discussions with my mates, they've always said, oh, you know, you make it wishy-washy and you always like take interpretations, but this is more about like metaphorical stuff and understanding what the Quran and Hadith say, because again, I'm sure we've discussed this so many times, how if we take everything literally, it just doesn't make sense and everything becomes into a fairy tale.
Yes.
So yeah,
Especially when we talked about Dajjal.
yeah, exactly.
How we explained what the real meaning is. And I think
Yeah.
when you explain that to ghair Ahmadis, then everything else becomes very clear as well. I think just look at the life of the Hazrat Masih Maud Islam and how he's written about Allah Ta'ala, then you'll realize no man like him could ever claim to be God. It's impossible. And it's the same with the Holy Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and how he lived his life. It was the same with Hazrat Masih Maud Islam. So that's great. Jazakallah. That's another allegation covered. Alhamdulillah. Getting there by bit now.
Wait, hold on. Where's Mubarak Saab? I'm sure he needs to add on. You can't. This is a important part. You know, he's muted. Does anyone else have anything to say?
Enjoying his muted life right now.
No. Assalamu alaikum. Yeah, I was just listening to your presentation. It was fine. It was good, informative.
Yeah, you're my partner in this. You know, even though we don't discuss anything, you always have something good to add on.
Yeah, today I have something good for this Muharram.
You love the Muharram talk.
Yeah.
I love.
So,
Baraz, are you still there? I think you're on mute.
yeah.
It's too much love. Sorry, I think you got muted.
Oh.
What did you want to say about Muharram?
Muharram.
What's your experience?
No. I was just reading about Muharram thing, like Man kuntu Mawla fahaza Aliyun Mawla, about the Mawla Ali Raziyallahu Ta'ala anhu alayhi salam. That there is one, when we talk about Shiaism, unfortunately Hamza is not here today. Hamza really likes to talk about Shiaism. So in Shiaism, there is one sect who believe, which is in Iran, who believe that they called Hazrat Ali, Mawla Ali, as Ali Jalla Shanahu. So they equalize Hazrat Ali to Nauzubillah Mazallah to Allah.
Because that's what you say with Allah. You say Allah Jalla Shanuhu.
Ya Allah Jalla Shanahu, they say Ali Jalla Shanahu, Nauzubillah. So that's the one sect that is for kafir for other Shia as well. And the second thing is that there is a difference between what they do, Shia do, because we are also a Shiane Ali. You are the Shiane Ali. The Shiane Ali, Shia basically mean the followers of Ali or the believers of Ali. So we are the believers of Ali. We are in true meanings, in true words. Like they are doing what they are doing. It's quite funny and quite horrible. When a person want to come into the fold of Islam, it's really difficult after seeing all these things, what they are harming themselves. So there is a difference between sog and gham. There's a sorrow which we feel, the pain in our hearts for any occasion, and there is a sog, and like you were in the same position and state of mind till 14th, after 1400 years ago or 14th century, and you are doing the same thing. When the Hazrat Hamza, the chacha of like the uncle of Hazur Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, died, he was murdered by the person who was, I think, the non-Muslim at that time. And after Fatah Makkah, when they conquered Makkah, that man, after 5 years, came to meet the Holy Prophet, and the Holy Prophet said that, "Can you do one thing? Can you do me a favor? Don't show your face to me again." So that was after 5 years. That was not the sog, and that was not that the Holy Prophet was in the state of mind after 5 years of his uncle's murder, that he was not having the soul. He was having a sorrow, a gum, or a pain in his heart when he saw that, or when we discuss about Karbala. That pain, we can feel the pain for our loved ones, but that not mean that we will do always the same thing, or we will do the same harm what the Yazid has done to the Imam Hussein or Hassan Razillahu Ta'ala anhu. So this is the difference. So we are also having the Muharram month in the remembrance of their good deeds, and the scenario which was not in Quran, but it's only in the history books. So this is the different when we talk to Shiaism. So this is the state of, we are not going with the state of mind after 14th year. We have a pain. We can feel the pain.
Yeah.
So that's it. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is the thing which I want to discuss.
I think that's perfect. And I think what you said is that we don't have to go out and show people that we are feeling the same pain and shedding blood and stuff. That's not how we want to display how we are remembering them. I think again Huzur reiterated that the best way to remember this incident and to remember and help them is by sending durood on them. Because remember when we're reading durood, we're also doing durood, sending praise on the family of the Holy Prophet wa ala ali Muhammad. Ali
Yeah.
Muhammad is the family of Muhammad. And there's no better dua, no better action you can do apart from that. Everything else is just, it's just people have made up. And like you said, it's just stories in the books that people are following. Jazakallah Baris, Jazakallah Nasir as well. Fantastic. Again, we're looking forward to another allegation that you're going to find for us next week. The ones that you find last minute.
Oh yeah.
Jazakallah.